Hello everyone. Rob here from Into the Music, and we're here to celebrate an anniversary of a release of Mr. Kurt Gunn's Scenes from a Small Town in Maine, an album that he released on September 22nd of 2015. And I have Mr. Gunn here. How you doing, Kurt?
Good. How are you doing, Rob?
Good, good. And welcome to the Drop Date Deli. And
Yes.
along with us today, we've got Brad Bordini. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, Kurt, congratulations on the milestone. And
Thank you.
yeah, I one impressive album. I mean, for as stripped down as it is, there's a lot there. And so let's just kind of dive right into it. Now, from what some of our conversations that we've had, I know you're a Stephen King fan, and
Huge.
yeah, and so starting with that, what made you kind of gravitate toward Salem's Lot as opposed to any of his other stories?
Um, so when I was a kid, like very young, there was a made for TV series on the movie that came out in 1978. And I remember watching it. Not when it came out, I would have been that would have been too young, but maybe like in the early 80s. And I remember watching it, and I didn't know that it was Stephen King, so I was first drawn to the movie. um and I just remember it like scaring the shit out of me, and like enjoying it, like everything about the movie I love. And then I love the book. So my aunt had given me a bunch of books. Let's see, The Stand and something else, and Salem's Lot. I had a Salem's Lot paperback, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's you know the movie." So I
Hmm.
read that book very at a very young age, like maybe I don't know, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Um, I should say very young for reading Stephen King horror novels. Um, I was obviously reading books at that time, but not
Hmm.
like those. And I don't know, it was just something about that book that just stuck with me, and I couldn't tell you how many times I wrote it or read it. Um, Upwards of maybe 50, 60 times. I'm reading it right now. I start it every year. The first date given in the book is September 5th, and so every year on September 5th, I've got it in my calendar, my phone. I start Salem's Lot. So
You are a little bit of a creature of habit, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. One of the copies I have marked tallies how many times I read that copy, but yeah, I mean this was the one that this is a book club edition. Unfortunately, I don't have a first edition with this graphic. I mean, if you have one, they're worth, I mean, a lot. This was his second novel, so obviously they're worth a ton. But I did see one at a bookstore once. It was like first edition, but like I forget what printing, and it was like four or $500. That bookstore by a Bravo. Remember that little bookstore, Brad?
Yeah, I do. Is
Where
that still there?
that cat would always hang around. No, it's gone now.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah.
So when you started writing the songs, then I mean, did you kind of was it more inspired by the book or the movie, or I mean, was there
I would
I can only assume that you had imagery from the movie kind of going in your head as you read the book.
Yes, but also the book. I would say it is a hybrid of the movie and the book. But I try to stay more true, I guess, to the book. Like in the movie, there is no Los Zapatos, it's something else. In the book, it's Los Zapatos. So I stay true to the book in that. And I mean, obviously, the scenes you can't help but have those scenes from the movie creep into your mind when you're, writing the song.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Now, going back, did you start the process of writing like in 2014, or how soon was it up until you started recording? That you
so what this came out in 2015, right?
Yeah.
So it was pretty quick. It was very quick. I know that so I did not intend on writing this album. It came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I It was maybe early September or late August. I want to say early September. I
Of
had
2014
of 2015.
that you released it, you mean?
No, that I started it.
Oh, okay. Because I think you're
I want
published
to say late
September
August.
22nd
Yeah,
of 20 published date. Yeah.
that's why I'm saying it came
Yeah.
quick. I
Yeah.
had the book out on my desk. I know because I was getting ready to read it. So it was coming on September 5th that I
Okay.
had it. I had the book out because I'm going to do that. And so I started writing a song and was searching for the lyrics. And I saw the copy of Salem's Lot sitting on the desk. And I started writing about the character Susan, just for something, for words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it turned out to be a pretty cool song. And I was like, wow, I like this a lot, but it's kind of really weird. Um, because it just did, it was outside of my vein, and standalone, I thought it would be weird to release, but I had fun writing it
Mm-hmm.
about the character Susan. And so then it came to the idea, I was sitting there and probably at the time, chain smoking cigarettes and just thinking, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool, because it was at the time it was coming up on like the 40th anniversary of the book or something. I can't remember. But I was like, it would be cool as a project to write a concept album about the book movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote down 8 titles, and I wanted them all to be like the blank, the blank, the blank.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote down well, actually more titles, a bunch of titles that would be possibilities, and then just set out to work. So like, um, the girl was the first one, and I think the second one was the Undertaker, and then and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had the whole thing written in probably, I want to say, under a week.
All
Um,
right.
yeah.
So
I
then,
want them all to be short songs, like real short, uh, to the point songs. Like I don't think any of the songs are over. One might go into the 3 minutes. I think the writer is like the longest.
You got
Of
the writer and the preacher's just over 3.
Okay, so yeah, and the
That,
rest are under 2. The
yeah.
whole album is 27 minutes,
yeah. But
and it's
so
cut
each one is really almost a character sketch, really.
correct. And I consider the town a character.
Mm-hmm.
Jerusalem's Lot is the name of the town. It's short for Salem's Lot, but I consider the whole town a character. So yeah, it's all part of it, I think.
Sure. Sure. Now, you said you wrote this in early September, so you recorded it with Paul Hanna. He produced, engineered. Um, how fast was it recorded?
Very fast. At the time, Paul and I were like trading services. So like I would do some graphic work for him because I was kind of dabbling in graphic design at the time.
Hmm.
And he would do like some recording things for me. Like if I recorded like a fun cover or something like that, I would send it to him. He put it through his whatever you put stuff through and make it sound good and clean it
Right.
up and And so one of these songs I sent him and I was like, I got this crazy idea, see what you can do with this tune. And he's like, or that was it. I was like, I'm gonna do this thing for myself and I'll send them to you and blah blah blah. And he's like, well, why don't you just come here and do it? So I went to his house and I think we recorded it all in one day. And then he added all the atmospheric things that you hear in it. The only thing I do on that album is the guitar playing and the singing.
Hmm.
And then the rest is what Paul had come up with, which I mean is amazing. It makes the album,
It
those
adds to the whole atmosphere of the album, the tone of the album. I mean, I think he nailed it.
yeah, totally. It makes it creepy. And the cool thing is Paul never read the book or saw the movie.
Hmm.
So it was kind of like the perfect thing. So I would send him, like we would do a song and he'd go, now what's this about? I would be like, well, he meets this girl in the park, um, and they fall in love, but ultimately, in the end, she becomes a vampire. And like I would give him that to work with, and then he would come up with whatever he came up with, you know. Like in The Undertaker, that in the movie, that vampire is sitting in a rocking chair,
Yeah.
rocking in the
So
teacher's
creepy.
upstairs bedroom. So
That's so
throughout that song, you hear the creaking of a rocking chair and just stuff like that really drives the point home.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, and then he did that. I mean, within a couple days. I want to say this is a while ago, but I want to say this whole thing was done in under, I don't know, 2 3 weeks.
Okay. So then now, Brad, you were kind of instrumental. I shouldn't say kind of. You were instrumental in getting Kurt to actually drop the album into the public sphere. Um, so what did you hear in it that drove you to do that? To convince Kurt this is worthy of it
Let me
getting out.
just let me just preface here because I had recorded the whole thing straight through all the songs on my own, just on like a voice memo.
Okay.
And that's what I sent to Brad. I'm like, hey, check this out. It's kind of weird, and then go ahead, Brad.
So I remember I was at my kid's soccer game. Go figure. I'm at a soccer game.
What?
So I'm at this
You don't
soccer
do
game,
soccer.
and he sends it to me, and I remember because timing's right, Kurt. Everything that you're saying, and I remember it was actually cold that year, and it was an overcast day. I think leaves had already started falling a little bit, and so it had this kind of creepy vibe that day because it was in the afternoon when you sent it to me. It was probably 5 6 o'clock at night at least. Um, and I remember being under this tree and I started listening to it. And to go back for a second to a nod to Paul Hanna, because when he added those things, it elevates the creepiness so much, like and anchors so many of those songs, like you said, with just little
Yeah.
parts to it.
because you heard it first without any of that stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so it's really the comparison of the two, and I'll get to that in a second, but I'm listening to Kurt's version and I started feeling kind of creeped out, you know, and I'm like, this is almost ominous, you know, like the drive behind some of the songs, you know, and I remember thinking to myself, this is such a deviation from what you and I had ever done, and what you had obviously put out, you know, on your own. And I remember thinking, first of all, this is it's written exceptionally well. It tracks and it tells this story. It's not, you know, the whole theme base to it. I remember thinking, this is just something else. This is a wonderful.
I can't remember, Brad. Did I tell you that it was about the book, or did I just lay it on you?
You did tell me. You gave me a heads up on it. You said, but what's great is I'd never read the book, because I'm a big baby and I don't like horror stuff. So I remember you telling me that, and I mean, because Stephen King's It scared the hell out of me when I was a kid, and I was like, I don't like Stephen King, and so when you told me that, I'm like, oh, interesting. And I don't think you told me much about it, even though, other than it was just that it was a Stephen King based on a novel, and I'm like, okay. And so I went in blind, kind of like Hannah did, and you told this elaborate story right away. You know, it takes, and I remember being taken in where I'm like, I don't want to stop listening to this. You know, because I'm at this game, and, you know, I think my wife was probably like, what are you doing? You know, like, come back over here, you know? And I remember you and I had almost like this text battle, like back and forth, and you're like, I don't know, you know, because we've had these talks before, you know, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Like, but we went back and forth with it, and you're like, what do you think? Is it weird? Is it not? You know, and I'm like, and I think you're like, I think I'm just going to scrap it. And I said, don't you dare. You know, it is awesome. It is something that you definitely have to follow through with. And granted, it was different, but the thing that I loved about it, though, was because, Kurt, when we were younger, you know, we went through, you know, our Pink Floyd phase, right? You know, with like The Wall, and it's like that never ending loop, you know? And I remember thinking, what an awesome feat that you achieved by doing that, by doing a whole themed album. And I thought it was just so cool. So, and then when Hannah, when you sent over the recordings, I always love in the beginning when he does the nod with the radio, you know, and it plays which one is it? Michigan and Lake, or what is it?
Yeah.
Michigan Lake. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I wanted to have each of us represent, because I wanted the scanning dials, and that one was my idea. I was like, let's put in one of my tunes and then one of your tunes.
Yeah.
And then that's like, you know, kind of an Easter egg that, you know, we made the album, you know.
But I remember when I heard that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good, you know, and like the you know, the crickets, you know, and like you said, the rocking chair, you're so dead on with that. When I heard that, to go from the stripped down version to listening to the recording, I went, man, this is something else. And I was like, I hope everybody gets what he's doing here, because it was such an abandonment from what you had done, right? You know? And,
oh, totally.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to release it. It was just for me, you know.
Yeah. But
yeah,
to your point, I remember us, and I think it wasn't just one time, if memory serves. I think we talked about it a couple of times, where it was, you know, because you get that itch, like you and I, Kurt and I actually just recently did this, you know, it's like, you know, you're like, should I not, you know, kind of thing. It's like, when do you pull the trigger on something, right? And but I remember the more I listened to it, the more I'm like, damn, this is something else. So
yeah. So anyways, the whole gist of the album, again, we're going back to this story, eerie story by Stephen King, and everything just works seamlessly. I mean, from top to bottom, it's a good listen, regardless of the concept. I mean, I think it's some pretty darn strong material for having been written quickly and recorded in a day, you know. Probably, I mean, I think of albums that were recorded in a day, like the Beatles' Please Please Me. And, you know, it doesn't cease to amaze me when you get material that strong and it comes across that effectively when it was done quickly. Do you feel like you would ever work that way again?
I don't know. I don't know. You can't plan things like that, I don't think. And if it happened, it'll happen. And it hasn't happened again since. So
Yeah. So it was
you
more or
know,
less a lightning in a bottle thing.
it was very much meant to be. It happened. It happened fast. And yeah, I don't know. What the muse was with me that week, you know, and I nailed this out. And I do have some of these in my voice memo still, like different lyrics and things like that. I was really all in, like it's all I worked on, you know, for that time. Um, you know, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna play guitar for a few minutes and try to write a new song. Like it was an all day event of writing each day, coming up with these.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there anything else? I mean, have you entertained doing something similar? I mean, as far as any other, regardless of it being a movie, a book, or some other kind of um, thing that's affected you as much as this. I mean, this seems to be pretty big with you, and I know that
Yeah.
you have written songs regarding history and such. But what about an entire project?
Well, I mean, this one is clear, black and white. This is a concept album.
Hmm.
I consider Winter a concept album. That's an EP. Because all those songs are about winter chronologically in order of the season, ending with New Year's. Um, my big plan for that was to have an EP for each season. That didn't happen. Um, I
Yes.
can't say that it never will happen. Like I wanted it to be the same cover, but each season, you know, the whole
Hmm.
thing. I also consider South Facing to be um, a conceptual album about time and midlife, and all those songs have a theme that go together as time and running out of time, and you know, so I guess I have kind of done it twice. Winter was planned, South Facing kind of just turned into that. um I will say I did try it once. I was gonna try it again with The Shining, and I got like one or two songs in, and I was like, no, I'm not. You know, it was turning out like I was trying to jump the shark. So I just that was forced, and I can't do that. So I just stopped and never thought about it again.
All right. We got Mr. Rick Spatula Armstrong saying turmeric is his favorite season. I think he forgot the ing at the end of that. So
What
Tyler,
did he say?
he
I
says
can't read any of these.
turmeric is my favorite season.
Oh, well, I do take turmeric with curcumin. It's good for the joints.
Anti-inflammatory. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we've turned a corner here. We've gone from music to supplements and
And side
natural.
note, I have to say, Tyler, you're also ravishing always. Thank you.
What's really cool about having all of these guys here, Tyler, Rick, Michael, um, Kimberly and Pat and everybody. This is like a big family here. If
Is
those,
is Andy on? Is Andy Wittig on? Can you see?
I don't think
um, He hasn't weighed in.
Okay. He's probably the number one like fan of this album. He buys copies of it and gives it to people. I know
That's
he
why
gave it. Yeah, he
that's
gave
why
it to the Bell.
right.
I know he gave it to the Bellwether. Like here, just listen to this. So
So
love
he
Andy
stopped
for
out
that.
the other night. He stopped out the other night because of how much he loves it. Then, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mr. Hanaway, TMI.
Oh yeah. Hanway's a big Salem Slot fan. He wore a Salem Slot T-shirt to our Rock Garden Live, which was the release show for Ballad of the Unknown Picker and Singer. If you watch that, he's got a Salem Slot shirt on.
Hopefully he had pants.
He's old enough to remember that movie scaring the shit out of him, probably too.
What you can't see, Curtis. He just commented, "I'm not wearing pants." So
well, that's fine. To each his own.
So, anyways, but again, but looking at some of the people here, I shouldn't say some, all of the people here in the chat. This is like a big family here, and anybody that's watching that has not been to any of the gigs by Kurt, by Brad, by Michael, by Tyler, Chris and Rick have been sidemen to these guys for I don't know how long, but there is such a synergy here in what you're seeing, in the chat, in the music, in everything that these guys do, and it's just something to behold. So I would encourage you, if you're in the Appleton, Green Bay area, Door County, these guys are out playing live. Catch
It's a beautiful thing.
You're not going to be disappointed. I guarantee it.
I think Rick and Chris Hanaway
anyways,
are the
one thing I wanted to
every
touch
album.
on last week, Saturday, regarding this kind of big family thing, was there was a gig at Fox River House here in Appleton. And Kurt, you opened the show with Brad and Amanda and Tom Thiel on bass, kind of combining the Brothers Gunn with Girl in a Gun. And so I don't know. I mean, appropriate name, Girl in the Brothers Gunn with Tom.
We'll start working on a name.
We lost your audio.
God damn it,
Kurt.
I can hear you, Kurt. I can still hear. Can you hear me, Rob?
I just turned it off and on. Can you hear now?
Yeah, something happened to your audio.
Can you hear me, Rob?
Brad?
I can. Yep, I'm good. I can hear.
Yeah, I can't hear you either.
Kurt, you can hear me or no?
Okay.
I
don't know what happened, and I apologize for it. StreamYard, I don't know if StreamYard has taken a crap on us or what, but I
think. There we go. I'm just letting Rob know that he's the only one that can't hear.
We're working on it.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Kurt.
Can you hear me?
No.
I can hear you.
I can hear Brad.
Don't know how we're gonna finish this. So Kurt, I guess you're gonna have to give me like head nods and stuff, but are you planning anything for the 10th anniversary for this release? Do you got any kind of special release coming out? Okay. All right. Well, you know what? With this stuff going on, there's something that's going on here. I don't know.
I'm doing typing to see if maybe he'll see that.
I don't know what you guys can hear me though.
I'm gonna text Rob. Let's see if that works.
Boy, this is strange.
What if Rob logs back out and back in? Would that work?
I think that might work. I don't know, but as the host, we might lose everybody, but that's okay. We could always restart. So.
Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of get out of here for a minute, and then I'll log back in. So be back in a minute. If we lose the stream, we'll try and pick it up. Appreciate
Perfect.
bearing with us here.
Sounds great. See if we all disappear or not. I'm still here. Did I disappear? Kurt, you can hear me?
Yeah,
all right.
I can hear you.
Why don't you and I have a conversation? I'll interview you for a little bit, okay?
That sounds good. Yeah.
So recently, as he was saying, was there any plan for you, Kurt, to do anything with the album to commemorate it? Did you happen to do anything recently to honor? What happened?
You and I played it straight through at one of our shows at Lost Key.
Yeah. Tell me about it. What do you think happened? How did you feel about it?
I didn't feel very good about it.
Which is fascinating because I have a recording of it, as I always record, and so what happened for you through the process that you're like, don't like
I had to think too much. I try to every year around this time. I don't play these songs all year, and then I play them to see what I remember if I could play it straight through, and
Sure.
then I thought I had it down. But I guess I didn't really,
But
to my standards,
yeah. From the outside, it'd be interesting to hear what Andy says about it too, because I'm also biased because I was enjoying the whole process, of what we did. And you're right, we don't get a chance to do it often, but and it is something.
It's not like the time we played it at that creepy supper club in Shauna Lake.
That was Cotton Patch, the Cotton Patch. That was a very interesting night. Maybe talk about that. What did we experience that night? Obviously I know, but I'm pretending I'm Rob. So what did we experience?
It was weird because no one was there. That's kind of why that place isn't here anymore. But
is it gone? That doesn't exist anymore?
No, that closed maybe half a year after that.
Okay.
Carissa Ryan was the one booking all her favorite musicians to play there. Where
she
bartended
that night, right?
Live music she might have been the bar manager. Live music had no business there. It was old people eating, but there was a lake behind us, and it was a warm day and a cooler night. So all this steam and fog was coming off this lake, and we were playing in front of this big picture window, and it was complete darkness behind us, and then this fog, and it was very dark in the supper club because no one was there. So they had like all the lights in the dining area off, and it was like 2 or 3 people at the bar, and I believe you and I played it.
I don't think was anybody even there.
2 or 3 people, one being Carissa, who was working, and then maybe the bar back. But I recall we played it straight through 2 times in a row, right?
Yeah.
Because we played it through, and then Carissa said, "Play it again."
Yeah.
So we played it again, and that was the first time it was played live, I believe.
Yeah, to an audience of 2 and 2 or 3.
It might have been, and that might have been before it was released.
I think you're right.
If I remember correctly.
I think you're right. And I remember that fog coming in, and I remember thinking to myself, we should I got a chill during I think the second round of it, I got this chill, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like, we should stop. It was almost like tempting fate, like something bad.
I remember I kept looking over my shoulder.
Yeah. It's like little kids Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Danny Glick was going to be at the back window scraping on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah. Well,
window. See, like I got the LP of the soundtrack to the movie, and like
yeah.
that's
That's
the kid
exactly, yeah.
scraping at the window. That's
100%.
what I was waiting for.
And I remember thinking to myself, if we finish it, like kind of like some weird superstition, I'm like, if we finish the second time round, we're gonna die tonight. I was like, maybe we should stop at Zapatos, and not do it.
Yeah, right.
It's so strange, but yeah, that was really. But I think that to just as a testament to it, if you have like the right backdrop, the right experience, it is just creepy, and that's what I was talking about before. And I listened to even your demo. It was like wind blowing and that autumnal experience, and it's there's a few tracks there that I'm like they're pretty intense. If you
Well,
let your mind, that's the thing, you have to let your
and
mind go.
Paul had the idea of me playing the album, and he was going to create a backing track of the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
So all the things would be there. But I mean, I have a hard enough time playing to a click track. There's no way I could do a whole album in time.
Yeah. Oh, that
But
makes sense.
speaking of click tracks, so on the opening track, when you hear the Zippo click two
Yeah.
times,
Yep.
the click had bled through, and that's how we covered it up. So
Oh, no way.
he was scanning the dial, and then he's gonna drive the car back to Salem's Lot. So he lit a cigarette before he took off. So
To
that
cover
buried the click until the guitar came in.
Oh, that's awesome. That you never told me that. That's new. I remember the Zippo. I remember telling you. I think I texted you right away saying that I love
Well,
it.
he's like, we're like, how shit, like, how are we gonna fix this? I was like, well, I got a Zippo, like in my pocket.
Yeah,
Like, maybe I'll just click that two times to bury the click, and he
brilliant.
did it. Yeah, worked out
This is
nice.
these are the kind of stories about recording that I enjoy, as far as the little bits and pieces, details that what make the track, and it's because there was a necessity for something like this.
Yeah.
Now that my audio is back, Rob, I don't know if anyone heard that or not, but I just wanted to say, like, we were talking about how this tight knit group of people that we have in the valley, and
Mhm.
and I just want to mention that, like, Chris Hanaway and Rick Armstrong are the backbeat on probably 85% of the albums for about 3 years.
Mhm.
I want to say, like, 2016 to, you know, 2019. I think they're on so many albums, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And the playing is wonderful throughout. I mean, it's so consistent, and the thing I think I appreciate so much about all of these albums, whether they be yours or if they be Michael's, Brad's, Tyler's, it doesn't matter. It's all very organic. It's all very from the heart, and which is something that's kind of disappearing from music, I think, at least in part. And to hear stuff that's coming from actual people with actual talent and really are looking to put out the best thing possible. It's getting hard to come by, but I'm glad you guys are doing it.
We're trying to keep it alive.
And it's fun watching everybody evolve. More so, it's like almost like everybody elevates. Rob, you had mentioned you were at the show at Fox River House on last Saturday, and I Tyler's Tyler and the SJs with a couple subs, that night, with Grabner up there and Tom on bass, Tom Thiel on bass, and Amanda James hopping up. But I remember Amanda and I were kind of back behind the stage, and we were watching Rick just do these intricate little things And like you're talking about on the albums, you know, Rick doing those things, and publicly, I would take a second to say, like, it's so cool to watch that stuff escalate and like just
Rick was drumming his ass off that night. It
he was
was
on.
really something to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so tight, and everybody was so tight that night. That was a really fun night. Kurt, we talked about that. That was something special that night. And
I was overcome with gratitude that night. Like, almost, it was very moving to be a part. All of these, what I consider great friends that I've met through music, is specifically in this area, that I never would have been friends with, you know.
Yeah.
Outside of that, and to share the stage with them all in one night and look out and know everyone, and I've played with everyone, and we've all been on each other's recordings, and it was really a special night.
Yeah. And it's very strange. We've talked repeatedly about this at different stages, but Kurt, I think you summed it up best. You're like, there's no competition, you know, it's
Right,
just
yeah.
elevating each other and supporting each other. And to some people, this may sound very, you know, kind of kumbaya and weird, but you got to understand that's not usually how it works, you know, on the back end. Like,
Well,
not everybody's
yeah.
not everybody's kind, not everybody's like supportive of
Yeah.
other people's success. And
Well,
you know,
like,
not
you know, perfect example. You and I had a show drop out tonight, right? So
yeah.
we were looking for another show and posted it, and then we're like, "Well, shoot, Michael Grabner's playing at Levy,"
Yep.
and I deleted my post, so I'm gonna go watch him. You know,
Yeah, let's do that
I'd rather
instead.
do that.
Yeah. Like, who does that, you know? It's and
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great just sitting there listening to him jam out, you know. So but that's how it's been. I think, and I will very much credit you, Kurt. You've become well, how yesterday, you know, we're not switching to me, but we went over like the lineup of my next album, and you're like this consultant. We were trying to find a name for it yesterday, remember? And it's like
Yeah.
what do you call Kurt? And it's almost like, it's like, I don't know, the wise sage, you know, am I going to put that in the album, you know? But it's fascinating how many people you provide guidance to. And
I'm
I
the
think,
Bob's from Office Space. That's who I am.
yes. And I think what's cool about it is that you've done these different things like scenes, you know, and various other projects, and you've been through different bands on different measures and outfits and even almost genres, right? And what's cool about it is a lot of people can just rest on that and have a big, you know, massive ego. And you, and I mean this 100% as a compliment, you don't have this massive ego. You're very humble, and you're very much, let me guide you, let me show. Because if you see it, what I've seen is, if you see something that you can help with, you jump in, you know. It almost bothers you not to. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Brad. I appreciate that. I was helped, and so I like to help. That to me is more gratifying than putting out some great album or something. I like, when I look back, when I'm done doing this, I'd like to know that I helped people, and that those people appreciated that, you know.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why you need to keep writing these albums about Stephen,
Yeah.
you know, help, you know.
Well, guys, it's about time to sew this up. So tell us where you're going to be playing in the near future, where people can check you out, and where folks can pick up scenes from a small town in Maine.
As far as playing, it's in my phone, so I don't know. I know that we have Oktoberfest coming up, where everyone is kind of on one stage. We got Tom Thiel's band, Brad's, mine, Michael Grabner's. Am I missing anyone? Amelia Ford, I think, is on that stage, maybe.
Ford's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amelia.
You and I are at we're at Anchored Roots tomorrow in Door County.
I saw Tyler S.J.'s playing on acoustic stage
Yeah.
with Christopher Gold and some other people. As far as the album, I was actually downstairs rooting around through all my crap trying to find some. I got a handful of them left. I did put out a limited run of vinyl with these, but those are all gone. I think leading up to into November, so we'll say through October, um, I might slip this into a few shows and just play. Not saying everyone, I don't know which one, if it feels right. I just wanted to add another thing about this album scenes. I want to give Paul Hanna tremendous credit for this. He really knocked this one out of the park with everything that he put on it, the feel that he gave it on such songs like The Preacher, The Boy. I mean, it's really cool. David Rousseau is the graphic designer. He's the one that printed these album sleeves. This was done with a t-shirt press, and it took him a super long time to do. I did the graphics and everything for it, but he did these, which was amazing. A great idea that Paul had with this album was there are no gaps between the tracks, so it is set up. It goes straight through. I mean, it will split the songs, but there are 0 gaps between the tracks to give it that kind of a continuing story feel. So
Sure. Yep.
it's on all the streaming things. If that, you can listen to it. You can take, it's 27 minutes. You can do it while driving to work or whatever,
Yeah. The one thing I want to point out is you can go to kurtgunn.bandcamp.com and you can pick it up there.
Yes, it is on there. I forgot.
And it's high quality stuff too. So it's not just downloading an MP3. You can get definitely higher resolution, and it's name your price, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all set up that. I'd rather
When
someone listen to it than be like, oh, I don't want to pay, $8. Just listen to the album.
Yeah, but I would encourage you, pick it up, buy it, support Kurt, support his work in the local music scene. I mean, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So, guys, let's and Brad, anything you want to contribute? Where can folks find you and your stuff?
Basically either with Kurt Gunn in some format of our bands or with Grabner in either duo or in the full band. So I've kind of deviated from individual shows because I just have too much damn fun with these guys. So maybe I'll do one of these days again. But
you should mix in a few of those, Brad.
I know I've been thinking about it lately. Maybe I'll do that at Levy or something. But yeah, to keep my chops, right? So, but I think, like I said, we're at Anchored Roots tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, 1 to 4.
Yeah, and in the afternoon in Door County, so that'll be fun. And then I'd have to look too. I think Oktoberfest maybe is the next after that, and looking forward to that. As far as my music's on all streaming stuff, I'll be dropping. I switched to vinyl, so I just got to do production of everything, and I'll be dropping the full album, pretty soon. I'm hoping as soon as that all gets in. So got a few singles out from that right now, and but otherwise, I'll be hanging probably with my boys as you already said. So yeah,
sounds great.
I have absolutely nothing new on the horizon.
We should change that, Kurt.
I've got notebooks full of songs with nowhere to make them.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Sorry. Excuse me.
Well, guys, and just a quick note, Oktoberfest on College Ave in Appleton, that takes place a week from tomorrow. So that's the 27th of September. So make sure you get down and check all these guys out. Kurt, Brad, Michael, Tyler, everybody. And then two, a special event that's coming up related to Into the Music is on October 3rd at Gibson Community Music Hall. We've got the Mascot Theory coming in to do an album release gig. Now, I've had the chance to hear their new album, and if you thought their last one, Every Sign of Life, was a great album, this one goes further, and it's a very personal album, introspective, but boy, it is so well done. So they're going to be doing their album release there with Miles Nielsen opening, and in between the two sets, they've asked me to interview them live on stage. So we're going to do a small interview section
Nice.
about the making of the album. You're invited to be there, part of the audience. We're going to record it, and maybe you get yourself on an Into the Music episode. So you're
Those
invited to
guys
do
are
that.
all super, super nice guys.
Yep.
Just a
Absolutely.
little talented, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for this Drop Date Deli. You can find Into the Music at intothemusicpodcast.com. All of the episodes are there right now. We've got the tunes going with Woody Larson and John Wheelock and Adam Hatton. Great show, great music from them. And also last week's guest, Eddie Angel of Los Straitjackets. Today is the day they're releasing their new album, Somos Los Straitjackets. I really encourage you to check that one out. It's fantastic. So check out the show and check out that album. They're also on bandcamp.com. So with that, Kurt and Brad, thank you for joining me. And folks that are watching this, thank you for joining us. Thanks for the comments and questions, and have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me, Kurt. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Adios.